色改变了。
His years in prison had actually developed him into a man of God.
他在监狱里面的年日这些的受苦，实际上使他发展成长成为一个属神的人。
And he was ready to forgive them.
他现在要赦免他
And
们，
he was ready to help them.
他要来帮助他们，
And he was ready to save the entire family.
并且要来拯救一整家的人，
So that the vision and the dream that God had given him would finally come true.
以至于神给他的异象异梦能够实现。
So he revealed himself to his brothers.
他就把自己真实的身份披露给他的哥哥们看。
And Joseph told them who he was.
约瑟告诉他们说他是谁。
Please look with me in Genesis chapter 45
我们来看创世纪第45
to
章，
see this important event in their lives.
我们看到在他们生命当中发生的这个重要的事件。
Genesis 45, verse 3.
创世纪45章第3节，
Then Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed in his presence.
约瑟对他的弟兄们说：“我是约瑟，我的父亲还在吗？”他弟兄不能回答，因为在他面前都惊惶。
Then Joseph said to his brothers, Please come closer to me. And they came close, and he said, I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt.
约瑟又对他的弟兄们说：“请你们近前来。”他们就近前来。他说：“我是你们的兄弟约瑟，就是你们所卖到埃及的。”
Now do not be grieved or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve your lives.
现在不要因为把我卖到这里自忧自恨，这是神差我在你们以先来，为要保全生命。
For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting.
现在这地的饥荒已经2年了，还有5年不能耕种，不能收成。
God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth and to keep you alive by a great deliverance.
神差我在你们以先来，为要给你们存留余种在世上，又要大施拯救，保全你们的生
Please
命。
look carefully with me at verse 8.
我们来仔细看第8节，
Here is what Joseph said to his brothers.
这是约瑟对他哥哥们所说的
This
话。
is what he realized about his years in prison.
就在这一节解释了为什么他在监狱里待这么久。
This is the resurrection to new life that redeems us.
就是这样复活的生命救赎了我们。
Verse 8.
第8节，
Now therefore it was not you who sent me here, but God. And he's made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all of his household and ruler over all the land of Egypt.
这样看来，差我到这里来的不是你们，乃是神。他又使我如法老的父，做他全家的主，并埃及全地的宰相。
Joseph has forgiven the brothers who betrayed him.
约瑟已经赦免了这些背叛他的哥哥，
He has overcome the hurt of being misunderstood.
他已经胜过了里面被误解的这种伤害。
He has risen to his true identity. The dream that God gave him is come true.
他的生命已经兴起到一个地步，是他真实的身份，也就是神给他的异梦里面的身份。
But that dream is no longer Joseph's dream.
可是这个梦已经不再是约瑟个人的梦，
Now it is God's dream in Joseph.
现在是神的梦在约瑟里面实现。
That's why Joseph had to die and to rise again.
这就是为什么约瑟要先死了之后才能够再复活。
So it is with many of us.
所以对我们许多人来讲也是这
God
样。
gives us a dream.
神给我们一个梦想，
He gives us a great calling.
给我们一个伟大的呼召。
We know that He has spoken to us.
我们知道他对我们说话了，
But then may come years of hardship and difficulty.
可是后来我们遇到许多年的困难，
Years during which we think the dream has been taken away, the dream has died.
这些年日里面，我们认为这个梦想已经死亡被夺走了。
But in fact, that is God's process in us.
可是事实上呢，这是神在我们生命工作的一个过程，
So that the dream and the calling that He's given us will always be His.
以至于他所给我们的这个梦想跟目的总是属
We
于
will
他
be，His servants,
我们做他的仆人，
able just to do what He wants.
我们就能够做他要我们做的，
Then we are ready for the greatness of our calling.
这样我们就预备好要接受我们真实的伟大呼召。
Then God will pull us out of the prisons that we are in.
那么神就可以把我们从我们的监狱里面带出来，
Then we become ready for the double portion.
我们就预备好了接受双倍的祝福。
And Joseph was given a double portion there in the land of Egypt.
就在埃及这块地，约瑟就接受了这个双倍的祝福。
I want to show you this double portion.
我要跟你讲这个双倍祝福在哪。
Turn with me to Genesis chapter 41.
我们来看
And
创世
look with me in verse 50.
创世纪第41章第50节。
Genesis 41, verse 50.
创世纪41章第50节。
Now before the year of the famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bore to him.
荒年未到以前，安城的祭司波提菲拉的女儿雅西娜给约瑟生了2个儿子。
And Joseph named the firstborn Manasseh, for he said, God has made me forget all my trouble and all my father's household.
约瑟给长子起名叫马拿西，因为他说：“神使我忘记了一切的困苦和我父的全家。”
Verse 52.
52节。
And he named the second son Ephraim, for he said, God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction.
他给次子起名叫以法莲，因为他说：“神使我在受苦的地方昌盛。”
2 sons were given to Joseph in Egypt.
约瑟在埃及得了2个儿子。
And years later, when the children of Israel entered the land of promise,
许多年之后，当以色列之子回到这个埃及地，
the land of their inheritance was divided by tribe.
对，回到应许之地是按照他们的宗族来分地的。
And in those days, 1 portion was given to Manasseh,
在这个分地的时候呢，一部分的地要给马拿
and a
西，
second portion was given to Ephraim
那么还有另外一份的地呢要给以法莲，
in the land of their inheritance.
就在他们所继承的应许之地里。
Literally, a double portion was given to Joseph.
所以这双倍的祝福是给约瑟家的。
I believe that there are many who are watching this program who are people of a double portion.
我相信正在观看这个节目的许多人，你们都是应该承受双倍祝福的人。
Some of you have already received a dream and a vision from God.
当中有一些人，你们已经接受到神给你们的这个呼召跟意向。
Some of you are living through days where you feel like you're in prison, that you can't realize your dream.
有些人在你们的日常生活当中，你们觉得好像被关在监狱里面，你们一点都不了解神给你们的这个意向跟呼召是什么。
You have been waiting and crying out to God, when will the dream you've given me come true?
你们不停地在监狱里向神哭求，说：“神啊，你给我的梦想到底什么时候实现？”
You need to understand that God is developing you. He's working in you during these years.
你要相信神在这段时日里面正在你的里面运行，在你的生命当中工作。
He's preparing you for the day that His dream in you will be fulfilled.
他正在预备你，以至于有一天他的梦想在你的里面可以实现。
The road to the double portion passes through the valley of servanthood.
假如你要进入到双倍祝福的境界，必须要经过一个仆人的低谷。
And Joseph is a picture of a man who walked that road through that valley to his success.
约瑟就是这样一个人，让我们看到经过仆人的低谷之后，进入双倍祝福的成功。
What are some of the factors that we see in Joseph's life of success?
我们在约瑟的成功里可以找到哪一些的因素呢？
Joseph succeeded because he was called by God into Egypt.
约瑟之所以成功，是因为他是被神呼召进入埃及的。
Egypt is a symbol of the sinful, non-believing world.
埃及所代表的是一个充满了罪恶、不幸的世界。
Believers are called to go out into the unbelieving world and to be successful.
所以信徒是被神呼召，要进入到这个不幸的世界里面，成为一个成功的人士。
Joseph succeeded because he gave up his dream.
约瑟的成功是因为他放弃了他自己的梦想。
During those years in prison, he gave up his dream so that it could be God's dream.
在监狱的里面，他放弃了他自己的梦想，以至于这个梦想会成为属于神的梦想。
It is the way of the cross.
这就是走十字架的道路，
It is the way of death and resurrection.
这是死而复活的道路。
Jesus said, "This is the way, the truth, and the life."
耶稣说，这就是一个真理、生命的道路。
Jesus said, "This is his way."
耶稣说，这是属他
And
的
that
路，
no one can come to the Father any other way.
没有人可以透过别条路来到父面前。
Joseph succeeded because God's Spirit was in him.
约瑟成功是因为神的灵在他的身上，
God's Spirit lived in him, and because of that, he found favor.
因为神的灵住在他的里面，因此他接受恩惠。
He was given wisdom and discernment.
他有智慧，他有辨
He
别，
was given patience
他有耐性，
and long suffering.
并且恒久忍耐。
These are parts of the fruit of the Spirit.
这就是我们生命当中所结圣灵的果子。
And Joseph succeeded because he developed servanthood and godly character.
约瑟之所以成功，因为他有一个做仆人的心智，并且有
He
神的个
learned to
性。
be a disciple of God.
他学习如何做神的门徒，
He learned to follow God carefully.
他学习如何小心地跟随主，
He learned to allow God's will to have its way in his life.
他学习如何让神的旨意在他的生命里面掌权。
Now, I would like to pray for all of those of you who've been watching this.
所以我现在要为所有在观看这个节目的人祷告。
I believe that the Holy Spirit has been speaking to you.
我相信圣灵已经对你说话，
He's been speaking to you about your life and your calling.
并且圣灵已经把有关于你的生命跟你的呼召告诉你。
God wants to touch you and to encourage you.
神要来触摸你，并且要来鼓励
He
你。
wants to give you strength to endure what you must endure.
他要给你力量，以至于你能够忍受你目前生命当中的困难。
He wants to give you faith so that you can rise and receive your double portion.
他要给你信心，以至于你可以兴起接受你双倍的祝福。